Hello, it is October 29th. Cold front is coming in. It's going to be 35 tonight, which means all this stuff is going to change. And so I thought I'd get a picture of my garden after its first year. This is really the completion of its first full 4 growing seasons. Or, we only have 3 growing seasons in Texas, but you can see how windy it is. I'll pause on the lake for a little bit, zoom in. There's whitecaps over there. So I'm going to stand out of the wind as much as I can for the audio. You can see the little red flowers on this. This is Turk's Cap. It is one of the #1 hummingbird plants for shade in Central Texas. This patch of Turk's Cap has been here since I was a kid. It has not been this big. This is as big as it's gotten, but I'm just letting it grow. I'm going to let it fill in between all these trees. Those trees up there, I'm going to let it fill in right there. And then that tree right there, I'm going to let it fill in over there. So I'm just going to have a nice big patch, but it's always kind of been this close to the driveway. It attracts a ton of hummingbirds and butterflies, I'll tell you that much. I haven't done anything to this garden yet in this garden restoration, but suffice it to say, I'm going to in about a month. There's some loquat trees there, a bunch of loquat not native, I'm sorry, I think they're from Japan. My grandfather, I believe he brought those from Japan, but regardless, there's loquat trees there, and you can also see some pin oaks. There's a pin oak. That's a hackberry actually. Well, I might keep. No, he's kind of close to the driveway. I want a hackberry, but I want to plant that right there. It's hackberry, I think. But I want to plant it closer or further away from the driveway, just because they're brittle. They tend to break. So up here, these are sweet gum trees. These are massive. This tree is probably 30 feet tall. It's been around since I've been coming here. It's a really big tree, provides a lot of shade. Here you see a black walnut tree. You don't see many of these in Texas. This one's a little hurting. It used to be a lot more full, but it's again very brittle, and all these branches just break all the way down. It's been lion-tailed because the branches break, and then it's been cut on that side because of the power line. So ultimately it's a very unhealthy looking tree. It produces walnuts, but they're not edible. And so over here up front, you can see a couple of azaleas here. I'm going to let these, if these azaleas would grow, especially that one, my grandmother put those in, I'm going to let it grow. I'm not going to top it anymore. There's a couple, actually there's 3 of them right there. If they'll grow, I'll let them grow. And I'll plant a bed around them. But see these right here where these trees are? This is eventually going to be filled in with Turk's Cap. And I realize that there is a garden bed here, right here, but there will not be. Eventually this will be the path out to and around the Turk's Cap right there. This is a water oak, or I think it's called a pin oak. This is a ligustrum right here. No, that's not a ligustrum, I'm sorry. This is is this a cherry laurel? I can't remember what this is, anyway. These are Maximian sunflowers. I put 5 plants over there. This year I got like 17 grow. So that's fantastic. Very, very good victory there. Nice and easy. And here's the color. Man, the Mexican bush sages really came out. Purple right there. I wanted to accent the sago palm in the middle, so I wanted stuff that would not get as tall as the sago, but so the sago would reach over top. The Mexican bush sages will get, when they're mature, these are first year. These were all cuttings. I took these from cuttings from my garden. And when they get mature, they'll get about another foot taller. So yeah, pretty good showing for first year plants. Eventually this will just be solid right there. They'll be overflowing the driveway eventually. You can kind of see this one is a little bit already. A little bit, but eventually it'll be, overflowing like that kind of. And here we have plumbago. I've put 5 plumbagos here, and I've pinned down branches on each plumbago. I've pinned down 2 on this one, 2 on this one, and then 1 on each of the other plumbagos, because next year I want 11 plumbagos. So there should be a whole bunch next year, and I just want the plumbagos to sort of take over this area. Right now it looks like there's a path here. I actually don't want that path here. I want this to fill in. And I want these to contrast. You can see the red. This is firecracker fern. There's not many blooms left. This loves the heat and sun. Firecracker fern. Hummingbirds love this stuff. It's just so windy you can't really see it very well. And I put 3 plants here and then pinned down a bunch of branches, and now it is growing cray cray. See that right there? Everywhere it touches, I just kind of pin it down a little bit, and I want it to do that. I want it to fill in mass, into almost like filling in the horseshoe. You can kind of see this, the horseshoe. I want it to fill in right here. Eventually the path will be on this side of the horseshoe, right over here. So if you need to get into work, you'll work this way. But you can see how nice it'll look when the blue plumbago and this fire orange firecracker fern come together with the Mexican bush sage. Mexican bush sage just looks phenomenal. Okay, so this is an experiment that I wasn't sure how it'd work, and my goodness, is it working well. This is tropical sage, Salvia coccinea. I put 11 Salvia coccineas here, and I don't even know how many there are now. It's got to be 30. More than that. There's got to be 50. It's big. I'll try and step back. There's a whole bunch of little ones. I got to watch where I'm walking. There's little ones right there. No, not that one. Yeah, there's a little one right there. There's a really little one right there. The little one right there. They're all over the place. This is fantastic. It's what I wanted. The Salvia coccinea and the Turk's cap will bloom at different times, and hummingbirds love both of them. So this will support a massive supply of hummingbirds. Just the Turk's cap right there, and this will support a bunch of hummingbirds. But there's more. Oh wait, there's more. Oh wait, there's more. So if you watch any of my videos, you know that this is my favorite plant. It is low maintenance Texas sage. Bam, bam, bam. This is a not Bravado, Rio Bravo Texas sage, and a lot of people say it's their favorite. I had never had this version, so I bought 3 of them and put them here. I am hoping to get more and line the Texas sage up right here. The sun, as it comes up, makes it so that I could put kind of a teardrop shape of Texas sage right here and not interfere with the Abelia and get away with it. So I think I'm going to put like 2 more, maybe 3 more, somehow working in there. There's some azaleas, like there's an azalea right there. It's not doing well. I could, do something there. But regardless, these are azaleas. Another water oak. I got to pull up the water oak. It's right over there's lines coming into the house, and that thing grows 2 feet a year. So next year it'll be in the lines. But I was talking about the Texas sage. Texas sage is phenomenal. Now listen, this was all grass when I started. This was all grass. There's no grass here now. It's gone. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff here coming up. Weeds. These are weeds. This is what a lot of this is. Horse herb. There's some Salvia coccinea in there. It's a tropical sage. Quite a few tropical sage. There's a lantana in there. Yeah, quite a few Salvia coccineas in there actually. So I wouldn't want to pull that up because this would be all tropical sage. Regardless, I want to put more Texas sages in here so that there's no room for anything to grow. I want everything to be grown together. Kind of like this is. You see this right here? Look how dense that is right there. There is no grass growing under there. There's no weeds growing under there. Nothing can compete. That's what I want. Xeric butterfly garden. The tropical sages require no care. They require no water. Here's the Mexican bush sage. They just look great. This came out really well this year. Another tropical sage underneath my feet. So this is part of the project that I'm doing here. Stand back a little bit. So in this area where I'm at right now, it's like a canyon environment in that when the sun comes up, it comes up here a little bit late and then it goes down early. So I'll show you. The sun comes up over there and you can see that's pretty thick right there. That's pretty thick. And it has to come up through all that, so it's filtered, right? And it's heavily filtered right there. And then right here, it finally gets full sun, almost like a small canyon. Almost like a small canyon with a big tree, because then it gets sun all the way down. As you can see, hope you didn't get seasick watching that. Regardless, this is a very canyon environment. I didn't realize that when I planted some Salvia greggii here. But I grew these from cuttings. These are Salvia microphala, mountain sage, and it's a hot lips version. You can see the red and white. There used to be red here, but now it's going to be red and white. Pretty excited about that. These will not get as tall, but they will mound, and they are much more shade tolerant. Salvia greggii got pretty leggy, and it just wasn't a very good look. So you can kind of see the red and white and the purple. Man, it just looks great. I'm very excited. It looks really good this year. Now, this is the first year, and I just planted these salvia microphallas. Okay, so this is a Duranta or a skyflower. I have a hard time growing these in Austin because they require more water. In Austin, they're not very xeric. They can be xeric, but if they get water, then they look like this. And you see how it's just kind of like a shower. I mean, look on the ground. Look at all that purple right there on the ground. It's just a shower of purple when it's in bloom. So it looks really good. One of my favorite color combinations is purple and gold. I've always liked that combination. So here we've got purple and gold. Got that purple and gold right there. That's this is a new gold lantana. That's what the gold is. I've got 5 new gold lantanas there, though 3 of them are mature, and then there's 2 of them, one right there and one right here. Where's my finger? Right there. They're first year plants. Over here we've got right here. Where's my finger? Right here. Flamacanthus. I've got 11 Flamacanthus there. So I was talking about I want to get a whole bunch of stuff there that grass and weeds can't compete with. With 11 Flamacanthuses, I mean, it's going to be like a 4-foot tall mat of butterfly food. The Flamacanthus is the #1 hummingbird plant for sun. The Turk's cap right back here is the #1 hummingbird plant for shade. And the Salvia coccinea is something that they really appreciate. I work often outside, and when I'm working outside, I just sit and watch sometimes, and the hummingbirds love coming to the Flamacanthus, tropical sage, and Turk's cap. So I've got a whole bunch of Flamacanthuses there, and the Flamacanthus get about 4 feet tall and they flop over. Morabilia here, it's planted by Granny. And then this is a black and blue sage. Really disappointed with the black and blue sage. I bought 5 of them, and you can see I've got about, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4 left. The problem is there is a vine, this vine right here. I don't know what this vine is, but it grows everywhere. It grows all over the place. And it's growing under them, under the black and blue sages. So when I pull it up, I'm exposing the roots, which is exactly what happened here. You can see I pulled it up and it just exposed the root, which is what killed this thing. And it's a little bit coming back now, but yeah, it's been pretty hard. So you see this big wide open area. What I was really hoping for is that the salvia black and blue sage would spread. Black and blue sage is definitely not spreading like the Salvia coccinea. My goodness, it's only been here 1 season less, but it has had problems getting it started. So hopefully next year it'll spread. If not, then I'm going to put up a nice solid border of maybe like 15 of them right here, because I really do like that. Well, it's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Look at that bloom. So on camera I can say it's not looking the same. It's almost looking like a purple on camera. Let me see if I get a yellow in there, if it'll change how the color works. But well, no, it still looks a little bit purple. Whereas in real life it's almost an electric blue. Black and blue sage, love that. Okay, see that big nastiness over there, the cable? There's going to be a Celeste fig right there. Boom! Very excited. It's going to go right there in a hole that's already kind of from an old tree. So I'm going to build up. Instead of building down, I'm going to build up. We'll start from the front here. Start with what I put in just today. Kind of see it's a little messy. We're supposed to get like 8 straight days of rain. I'm not really worried about it. This is what I put in today. You can see the difference in mulch for sure. Black mulch versus the brown mulch. And you can also see black mulch in the background there. So I moved the Salvia gregii over here. This is less of a canyon environment and more of a full sun environment. So the Salvia gregii really do appreciate full sun. They really, as I'm finding, really want full sun. And actually I think I'm going to put, I've got 7 of them here. I think I'm going to put another 4 here, kind of up the road or up the driveway. But suffice it to say, I had to cut a lot of these back. That's what they'll look like right there. And so this is also a canyon type environment. You see it's pretty thick there. But when it comes up, there's much less. Well, let me stand over here. There's much less dense foliage there as opposed to over here. You can see it's denser. Much less dense foliage gets up here. And a good canyon environment there. Or, I'm sorry, good full sun environment there. I said canyon. And then look, sun's going down, sun's going down. It's way more open because it doesn't have the walnut tree. There's a walnut tree that's impeding the sun, so it's open, 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 open until it gets down. It gets significantly more full sun time here, maybe another 3 hours of full sun time. We always had a hard time with the grass here because it got so much sun. I'm gonna put another probably 4 Salvia greggii up to here. I really want the mist flower just to take over this area. This whole, I can get to the side so you can see how big it is already. There's 15 plants in here, and I want to put, I don't know, however many will fill this space up here. What is that? Probably another 7 mist flowers in there, at least another 5. No, way more than 5. Maybe like 9 even. But I do want to put some more Salvia greggii right here, kind of up the road. And as I said here, this is the Greg's Mist Flower. It's doing great. This is first year with Greg's Mist Flower here. I wasn't really sure how it would do. My goodness, it looks pretty, doesn't it? Look at that. Butterflies love, love, love this stuff. I'm really surprised there's not more butterflies on this here. Maybe they don't recognize it, but this is an aster, and in Central Texas, they are all over this. Okay, more about the new stuff. This is a Forsythia or Forsythia sage. I've been waiting for this to bloom for so long. I sure hope it blooms, but it's gonna get really chilly tonight. It's supposed to be a fall bloomer. You can kind of see a little yellow on it. Why is my camera so fuzzy? Maybe I need to clean my lens here. You can see a little bit of yellow on it. And you can see how long it's flopped over. I think it's just because it was stretching for light. I put it here because I think it's going, next year I think it's going to get a lot less sun. These Pride of Barbados, the guys with the orange flowers here, are going to grow up another probably 3 feet. And they're going to grow into this thing. You see how close they are right now. If it gets 3 feet more, I mean, it's going to straight up be growing right here. So I think it's going to get less sun. It doesn't want full sun. And so that's why I kind of planted it back a little bit. You can see the Salvia greggii here. I cut them way back, left a little bit of leaves on them to keep them going. And then you can also see the Mystic Spire sages. I love this sage, one of my favorites. Nice purple flowers on it. You can see the Mystic Spires sage will get huge and it'll take up a lot of area. You can see I left a lot of space for these to grow, but the Mystic Spire sage will take over this border really well here. And again, Pride of Barbados. You can see the Esperanza's trying to come out. I think the Esperanza is going to lose this battle because it's supposed to get down to 35 degrees. But this is also one of my favorite combinations of flowers, is the Esperanza and the Pride of Barbados. The Esperanza is the yellow, Pride of Barbados is the orange and red. And I really, really love that combination. First years for the Esperanzas, so they didn't really come out that well, but they will next year. You can see there's some Turk's Cap Volunteers in here. There's also a Yaupon holly. That's a Yaupon holly with a bird's nest in it. Let's see if you can still see the bird's nest. Is it still there? It's pretty low. Anyway, I can't see it, but Yaupon holly and Turk's Cap growing out of that. There's also, these azaleas are just massive. They're just huge. I really want to emphasize the azaleas. These guys have to be 10 feet tall. They're all every bit of 10 feet tall. And so what I'm going to do is get in there and cut out the Turk's Cap so that the azaleas really pop in the spring. There's another cherry laurel here. This cherry laurel is going to get too big because the power lines, you can see all the trees and everything have to be cut here. So not going to let the cherry laurel grow. Only going to emphasize the azaleas. These are the spring blooming azaleas. Over here though, this is a cherry laurel. And this guy I'm going to let grow. This guy right here has a vine on him. Oh, I'm going to have to get rid of that guy. Okay, so this cherry laurel will get big, but you can see it's kind of back from the power lines a little bit. So this is going to offer a nice wind screen for storms coming from the east. And you can see the hole there. That's where the fig is going to go. Nice big area. I'm hoping that the fig will eventually touch. So it probably takes 7 years or so, but the fig will eventually touch this bed over here. If it doesn't, there'll be a nice little path there. I am hoping, actually, maybe I should hope that it doesn't touch. Because I do want to put a path here. I just remembered that. I want to put a path in like this so that when I'm going to drink my morning coffee, I can come out this way and I can just look in the garden, right? Nice, beautiful Turk's cap in there. There's some overgrown vines. You know, I know I need to clean it up a little bit, but I haven't gotten to this part yet. And this, Le Mastapissa. So I'm trying to figure out how to hide this, and I'm going to be growing a lot of plants at home. Structure that will hide these whenever they're turning ratty. Bluebonnets. This is a patch of bluebonnets right here. You'll see it's kind of granite. There's quite a few bluebonnets growing up already. Bluebonnets love granite. They grow super well in granite. You can see a couple of them coming up right there already. Sprouted. Actually, all of the green in here is bluebonnets. I looked through here carefully. Anything you see that's green in here is bluebonnets. So they're growing. And I put a little border around it. So I don't know. I have to find out a way to hide these, and I'm going to distract people's attention with wildflowers right here. So I need something to be in bloom right here during during May and June when these look terrible. Because right about May 1 through June 1, they really don't look that good. You have to wait for them to die so that they seed out because they're annuals. So that's a little challenge I have. But one I'm willing to accept. Okay, more first year stuff. So we're going to put a gate right here. Going to put a gate there. And then I'm going to put a bunch of mountain laurels right here. I want to create an artificial screen. So that's my plan of attack. This overgrown thing is our compost pile. There's a big tree in here. I have to get rid of it. I just haven't yet. However, compost pile looks pretty good. First year compost pile. And the reason I'm coming back here is to show you the start of the herb garden. It's just the start. However, this is garlic right here. Bam. These are onions right here. Bam. And I guess there's more to the garden. So I've created a pond garden this year too. This is the backyard. And over here we have pickler weed right there. This is a Texas Star hibiscus right there in the pot. These are lilies with the purple flowers. And then over here with the multi-flowered kind of branchy things right there, that is water willow. So I've got 4 different kinds of plants in here right now. I went and bought a dozen goldfish. They have bred, so I've got nice goldfish here too. And I'd show you the garden in the lake, but it's covered with waves right now. So yeah, starting the herb garden here. That's what I got for you. That's first year.